Meeting of the Safeco Board of Directors. Would the clerk please call the roll to establish a quorum?
Thank you. Director Desmond?
Here.
Director Frost? Director Hume?
Here.
Chairman Kennedy?
Here.
Director Cerna? Director Cerna? Director Jennings? Director Kaplan?
Here.
Thank you. Director Talamentes? Director Talamentes?
Yeah, Director Conant, yes.
I see Director Talamentes. I don't believe she has sound yet.
I'm here.
Thank
I'm
you.
This is
Director Holloway?
This is Director Cerna. I'm here as well.
Thank you, Director Cerna. Director Holloway? Director Shaw?
Here.
Director Avdes? Director
Here.
Baines?
Baines here.
Thank you. Director Conant?
Here.
Lindy, I didn't know if you got me. This is Director Aptis. I'm here.
Thank you. We have a 10-member quorum.
Thank you very much. If everyone would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is being cablecast live on Metro Cable Channel 14 and will be re-aired on Saturday, January 21st at 2 p.m. And the recording will be available on Safeco's website within 48 hours after the meeting. Just as a reminder, if you are not speaking, please leave your microphones on mute to help reduce the excess noise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lindy. At this time, are there any public comments?
I have not received any public comments, Chairman Kennedy.
Are there any members of the public who are on Zoom or WebEx that has any item that's not on the agenda that they would like to address? Okay, thank you. Next item, please.
Our next item is consent matter number 2, resolution number 2023001, proclaiming a local emergency persists, ratifying the COVID-19 state of emergency, and reauthorizing remote teleconference meetings of the Sacramento Area Flood Control Agency Board of Directors pursuant to the Ralph M. Brown Act.
Okay, we're taking this item separate and bifurcating from the rest of the consent matters so that we can legally meet remotely. So on this particular item of consent, is there any member of the board that would like to pull it off or make comments at this time? Madam Clerk, is there any member of the public?
No, I have not received any public comments on this.
I will take
Move to
motion.
approve. Conant.
Approved by Conant. Is there a second?
Aptis will second.
Second by Director Avdis.
Thank you. Roll call, Director Desmond?
Aye.
Director Frost? Director Hume?
Aye.
Chairman Kennedy?
Aye.
Director Cerna?
Aye.
Director Jennings?
Yes.
Thank you. Director Kaplan?
Aye.
Director Talamentes?
Aye.
Director Holloway? Director Shaw?
Aye.
Director Avdis?
Aye.
Director Baines?
Aye.
Director Conant?
Aye.
Motion passes with 11-member approval. Thank you.
Next item, please.
Our next item is the election of officers for the Safeco Board for 2023.
Okay, Mr. Campbell or Mr. Johnson, is there anything you'd like to say before we kick this off?
No, just we have look forward to working with whoever the board decides to elect. So
Very politic of you, sir. Then at this time, I will entertain a motion or a nomination, which does not require a second, a nomination for the seat of chair. Or a member of the board that would like to nominate this time.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to, well, if you're willing to serve again, I'd be happy to move that you continue in the position as chair. I don't know if we need to waive any rules or not for that, but
Hey, why don't we address that issue then before we move on, as far as if there's other nominations? Mr. Goldberg, is there a rule that would need to be waived in order for a chair to repeat?
Thank you, Chair Kennedy, Jeremy Goldberg, Agency Counsel. In fact, resolution number 89006 is the chairmanship rotation policy. Point 4 in the policy states that the chairman and vice chairman shall not serve 2 consecutive complete terms in the same capacity. It's a policy, so it could be waived on approval by the majority of the board. And in fact, historically, there is some precedent for having done that. In 2007, 2008, the chair, held on for 2 years on a motion.
Okay, thank you, sir. So could the motion be made into one motion as a nomination and waiver at the same time?
Yes, I think that would be legally permissible.
Okay, is that your motion, Mr. Desmond?
so that's my motion. Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for chair at this time?
Can Member Kaplan second that motion?
Thank you, Member Kaplan. Any others? Any other nominations? Then we will close the nominations for chair. And since there is a waiver of that rule, instead of affirmation, let's do a roll call vote.
Thank you, Director Desmond.
Aye.
Director Frost.
Aye.
Director Hume.
Aye.
Chairman Kennedy.
Aye.
Director Cerna.
Aye.
Director Jennings.
Yes.
Director Kaplan.
Yes.
Director Talamentes.
Yes.
Director Holloway. Director Shaw.
Aye.
Director Abdus.
Aye.
Director Baines.
Aye.
Director Conant.
Aye.
Motion passes with 12-member approval.
Thank you very much to my fellow board members. Much appreciated.
And I am on board. Sorry for being late.
Oh, there you are. Is it all right at this time? Then we will entertain nominations or a nomination for vice chair.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to nominate Mr. Holloway. Thanks for being late, Brian. I was going to nominate you even if you weren't here.
Second. Desmond
Trouble
second.
logging on. Sorry, folks.
And Director Shaw, I'd be happy to second that nomination.
Okay. Is there any other nomination for vice chair at this time? I take it we don't have any public comment on any of this, Lindy, right?
I've not received any, Chairman Kennedy.
Thank you. Then we can actually, if there's no other nominations, let's just make it clean and do a roll call vote.
Director Desmond.
Aye.
Director Frost.
Aye.
Director Hume.
Aye.
Chairman Kennedy.
Aye.
Director Cerna.
Aye.
Director Jennings.
Yes.
Director Kaplan.
Yes.
Director Talamentes.
Yes.
Director Holloway.
Aye.
Director Shaw.
Aye.
Director Abdus.
Aye.
Director Baines.
Aye.
Director Conant.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes unanimously with 13-member approval.
Thank you. And before we move on to the next consent items, I wanted to take just a second to welcome Director Kaplan, Talamontes, Hume, and Baines to the board. You'll find that we are a very collegial board and work very well together as a board. And by illustrative of that is with the latest, and we have the best staff around. And illustrative of that is with the latest flooding that occurred. You will notice that the Safeco levees, did what they were supposed to do, and the people of Sacramento got their money's worth. So welcome to the board, you all, and look forward to serving with you. Next item.
Consent matters 3 through 9 are in order.
Okay, is there any member of the board that has a question on any member on consent or would like to pull anything at this time?
Chairman Kennedy, Lisa Kaplan, I would just like to remove from consent for a separate vote item 3, which approves the action summary, because I was not a director at the time that that meeting took place.
Would you like to remove it or just abstain on that item? We can just make note that you abstain.
I guess I could abstain since there is no Brown Act issue.
Then the clerk will note that Director Kaplan has abstained from item 3.
So noted.
And Director Hume as well, please.
That is also noted.
And Director Talamantes as well, please.
Thank you. We have Director Kaplan, Hume, and Talamantes abstaining on item number 3.
Can you have Director Baines do that as well?
Certainly. Thank you.
Okay, any others?
Conant move to approve item 3 through 9.
I'll second that, Director Shaw.
Okay, do we have any public comment on this?
I have not received any, Chairman Kennedy.
Okay, then we have items 3 through 9 with the abstentions as noted before. Please call the roll.
Director Desmond.
Aye.
Director Frost.
Aye.
Director Hume abstains. Chairman Kennedy.
He abstains only from number 3.
Correct. From item 3, I'll say aye to the rest.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Director Cerna.
Aye.
Chairman Kennedy, did you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Director Jennings.
Yes.
Director Kaplan.
Yes, on items 4 through 9. Abstain on item 3.
Thank you. Director Talamantes.
Yes.
Thank you. Director Holloway.
Aye.
Thank you. Director Shaw.
Aye.
Director Avdis.
Aye.
Director Baines.
Aye.
Director Conant.
Aye.
Thank you. Items 4 through 9 pass unanimously. And item number 2, I'm sorry. The abstention on the action summary passes with 8-member approval.
Great, thank you very much. Mr. Johnson.
The next item is item 10, the Executive Director's Report.
Good afternoon, Chair Kennedy, members of the board, Rick Johnson, Executive Director, and Chair Kennedy, I'd just like to take a moment. Thank you for all your support. You've just been great working with us, really great working, and a huge amount of support that I don't think most of the board members realize happening behind the scenes. So I appreciate that and look forward to working another year with you and with Director Holloway as the vice chair. And welcome to the new board members. So as Chair Kennedy said, I just wanted to talk for a second about the recent storms. Our system worked very well. I put a few statistics up here on the Sacramento River. Looking at the I Street gauge, the peak storm hit. We never even got to flood stage. All the weirs and the bypasses worked well upstream on that, and we stayed well below flood stage on the Sacramento River. And then the levees, of course, worked well also. And then on the American River, the peak releases on the American River got just a little over 35,000. Our current channel capacity is about 115,000, and when we're done, it'll be 160,000. So we were well within our channel capacity. And Folsom, our new spillway, Wendy, if you go to the next slide, this is really the first time since we finished the new dam and spillway at Folsom where we've had flood releases. And this particular picture was releasing about 20,000 at the time. But having the new spillway in place for much of the storm, the Folsom was below the existing spillway on the main dam, and so we would only have the river outlets. So the new spillway let us handle this storm much more efficiently than we would have without it. So it just a good first test for it there. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide, changing directions a little bit. I've talked about this before. Finally, the end of the year, December 23rd, Congress passed and the President signed the Water Resource Development Act of 2022. We had some important language in there, extending the authority that we're using to move the excess credit from Natomas and use it against our cost share in the American River Common Features 2016 project. That authority was set to expire in June of 24, which would have been before the next Water Resource Development Act would have been passed. And so the WARDA extended it through December 31st of 2028, which will allow us to continue doing that as we continue forward with these projects. So that was a good event for us. Linda, if you go to the next slide. And then similarly, towards the end of the December, Congress passed the Omnibus Appropriations Bill. We had 3 items in it. The American River Common Features Natomas project received $63 million. Now, this is down from what was in the House and Senate appropriation bills and what was in the President's proposed budget. They had $173 million in there, which would have funded Natomas to completion. The Corps, at the committee's request, asked if they needed all that money, and the Corps would not have been able to obligate all that money this year. So the committee or the appropriations folks in the omnibus reduced it down to $63 million. So we will need ask probably in 24 for the rest of that funding back. But that's plenty to keep us going for this year. We did get a new study start and $500,000. And so we're working with the Corps and State right now, initiating that work. And then earlier in October, we had received almost $38 million under the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act for the temporal shutters at Folsom Dam, which were authorized as part of the dam raise project, but not funded with the previous funding. And in the 23 appropriations, they added another a little over $3 million for a total of $40 million. Is what the Corps needed for their current estimate to construct that. So that was another good result for us. I'd like to change gears a little bit, just talk about some of the significant highlights that occurred in 22. We had a few that I felt were worth noting. When you go to the next slide. So, yeah, one more slide, please, Lindy. There you go. So on Folsom Dam raise, this one was funded as part of the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2018. And as we got moving forward on it, with the design and everything, the Corps realized they were going to be significantly over. And so in July of 2020, headquarters held a cost control board where the Sacramento district had requested a cost increase. At that time, the district had not updated the benefits, and so it was actually showing a slightly below unity benefit to cost ratio, which was putting the project at risk. At that time, we reached out to headquarters and asked if they would allow us to present them additional benefit categories and help them understand how vital the project was as part of our system. They did that in October 2020. And as a result of that, Lindy, if you go to the next slide, headquarters convened a second change control board in January of 21 after the district included the additional benefits that we had developed. And then finally, they updated they did a new cost estimate. And in February 22, headquarters convened a final Cost Control Board, and we continued to work with the district on further quantifying the benefits. And at that point, we had a 1.8 to 1 BC ratio. And Congressman Matsu is extremely helpful during that whole period. But if you go to the next slide, ultimately in April of 22 last year, headquarters provided another $111 million, bringing the total from the Bipartisan Budget Act to a little over $327 million, which will fully fund the project. So that was a huge effort, but also a good outcome for us. Lindy, if you go to the next slide, changing steps a little bit. Another thing, in addition to the Wardenville, happened on our excess credit. Back in 2010, we realized that in order to work with the Corps and keep the work in Natomas moving efficiently, because the Corps asked us to do a lot of effort on there, we would go over our cost share because we had built a lot of Natomas ahead of the Corps getting the project authorized. We were going to have about $100 million in excess of our cost share in Natomas between SAFCA and the state. We wanted to be able to use that excess credit on Common Features 2016 towards our cost share. So we started that effort in 2012, and last year, Lenny, if you go to the next slide, through all the legislative and administrative approvals, we finally got the agreement signed in February of 22. So that is allowing us to move forward. So that was another huge highlight from last year. Next slide, please, Lindy. I mentioned earlier the appropriations bill included funding for the temperature control shutter at Folsom. The existing shutters were built in the 1960s and are not very efficient. They waste a lot of the cold water, which is very precious in Folsom Lake and is needed downstream to help maintain the salmonid species that live in the river and use the river to spawn. The Bipartisan Budget Act that funded Folsom Dam raise was just for the flood control component. It did not include funding for the temperature control shutter. So we needed to receive that funding. And so effort was made. And let you go to the next slide. And so in October of last year, 22, it was included in the Infrastructure Investment Jobs Act through the Corps of Engineers. And then, as I mentioned, in the annual funding, we did get that fully funded. So that was a huge relief, and especially in these times of dry period, the cold water and the stress on the salmonid species has been difficult. And so this will help once we get this in place. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. And then finally, non-federal sponsors, our biggest responsibility under the law to support the core projects is to provide the land easements and rights of way. So last year we completed 70 real estate actions that allowed the Corps to keep the construction moving forward. And I did want to take a moment at this time to thank the SAFCA board for providing us significant tools. We wouldn't have been able to accomplish that without some of the delegations and tools that you provided to us. So I want to take a moment and thank you for that. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. And then finally, on the accomplishments during 22, big construction year, we had 15 major construction contracts ongoing. 3 of them were completed in 22, 12 will be continued into 23 or past that. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So looking at 23, 12 moved into 23, and then 11 new ones will get started in 23. So it's going to be a huge year. Lindy, if you go to the next slide, just kind of summarizing. So there'll be 23 major construction contracts going on. There'll be 6 new awards coming up in the next few months that are really significant that I wanted to highlight. Those 6 dollar value range will be somewhere between $550 and $650 million. So I'll kind of walk through real quickly what those 6 are. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide, please. So on the American River Common Features 2016, the Sacramento River East Levee, this is their final contract for everything down below the American River in the pocket area along the Sacramento River. And it kind of catches what was remaining and then some of the windows that we had along there. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So that one, the bid openings were received in December, and the contract award will be towards the end of this month. And so that'll be good to have all the work done along the pocket area and down below. Next slide, Lindy. Big ones coming up. Awarding the widening Sacramento Weir and bypass, a lot of components to this one. There'll be the new weir, which will be north of the existing weir, about 1,500 foot wide. It's pretty similar to the existing weir, but this one will have no gates on it. It'll be much like the Fremont weir, where it'll flow when it hits a certain stage. Included in it is a fish passage. Right now, the fish, every time you operate the Sacramento weir, a lot gets stranded behind the weir. They try to save as many as they can manually, but this will allow the salmon, steelhead, and some of the sturgeon and other species that use the bypass, that come up in the bypass when it's flowing, to get back into the main channel there. And then it includes a levee that will connect from the Sacramento River levees over to the levees being built as part of the Lower Elkhorn Basin Levee Setback Project. And then once that's all completed, removing the levees along the Sacramento River and between the north levee of the existing bypass. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide, this contract will be awarded in April. Construction will begin in June, and it will be completed in 2026. So next slide, please, Lindy. The Thomas Basin, we have another REACH award coming up, REACH E, that's up on the east side, the northern end of the basin. Lindy, if you go to the next slide, it's along the Pleasant Grove Canal, about a little over 3 miles of widening the levee and seepage cutoff wall. Contract award will be in spring, and it will take 2 years, 2023 and 24 construction seasons. And then next slide, please, Lindy. And then up at Folsom, even though that one's turned over and operating, there were a few items through the checklist that needed fixing. And one of them that's come up is the rods that are used as part of the cylinders. There's 6 main gates, and the tainer gates on those are opened and shut with these hydraulic cylinders. The rods are fine, but the coating on the rods has cracked already. And so that's going to lead to significantly shorter design life, as it will allow them to rust and then eventually have problems. And so the Corps has agreed to replace those. They are awarding the contract this week. And Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So the contract will start here in 2023, and they can only take one set of gates out every year, every summer. And so it'll take till 2028 to replace all those. But this is significant for us because SAFCA has, under the way the law is, we pay for the O&M on these things, operation maintenance and replacement. So if those had failed long before their design life, we would be responsible for replacing them at our costs, whereas now this is cost shared. We only pay 10.5%. So this was a significant improvement for us that the Corps agreed to do this under construction projects. Next slide, please, Lindy. Then coming up in February, we'll be awarding the main dam raise with the right left wing dams. If you could go to the next slide, Lindy. So it'll be a 3.5 foot raise of both the dams. And then on the main dam, there's a parapet wall that's already higher than that, but there are gaps in it that need closing. And we also need to strengthen the 8 gates and top seal them to handle the higher reservoir elevations. Bids were just received in December, and like I mentioned, they'll be awarded in February 27th of 2023. It'll take till 2027 to complete. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So I put a picture just to explain. These are the 8 existing Tainer gates. There's a gap at the top of them between the top of those gates and the top of the concrete dam. There's 14 feet above those gates, a little over 150,000 acre feet of additional space that if we top seal those gates, we can utilize in certain flood events to try to protect Sacramento and keep the flows within the levee reaches. So it just gives us that capability of handling larger storms. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide, and then also along on Folsom Dam, this is 8 dikes and 4 dams. And so the 6 dikes on the west side of the reservoir will be combined into one contract. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So that contract will be awarded here in July, and construction will start shortly thereafter, and it will be completed in 2026. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide, please. And we estimate there'll be approximately 80 real estate transactions that we'll need to, so a few more this year than last year, to stay ahead of the construction contracts that will be coming in 2023 and in 2024. So next slide, please, Lindy. So I just graphically wanted to show you visually. This approximates the areas that were under construction. We're rebuilding the entire system as of the end of 2022. Green lines are the areas that are essentially complete. The red lines are where construction is still going on, and the blue lines will be awarded in 2023 or beyond. So if you go to the next slide, Lindy, what I did on this next slide, I just changed the shading to show all the areas that will be under construction during 2023. So you can see we're getting closer. All we'll have left on Natomas is reaches F and G on the east side. And then down along reach I, we have to flatten the slope on the levee on the land side slope. We've already put this slurry wall in there. Up at Folsom Dam, Dike 7 is the only dike left to award. On the American River, a couple of contracts for erosion, smaller than the ones that are going on now. And on the Sacramento River, a couple of smaller erosion contracts there too. And then we'll have some mitigation contracts, but we're getting there. And this will be a big year for construction. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions of Mr. Johnson? Matt, I think you're muted. We're not hearing you, Matt.
Okay, there we go. I thought I turned it off, but I guess I turned off everything. Anyway, Rick, so my question is about the Sacramento Weir. So what's the overall width now, and what's it going to be when we're done? It's about double, right?
Yeah, it's about double.
Okay.
So capacity-wise, we're increasing the capacity by about 45,000 to match the capacity that we're adding to the American River. So we basically have to get the equivalent of what's coming out of the American River out to the Yolo bypass. Right now, it can get about 115,000 out through the bypass, and we need to increase that to 160,000. So this one doesn't have the gate, so it's a pass where the elevation will be set so that it will add basically another 45,000 CFS capacity out there.
Good. Thank you.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment on this?
I have not received any public comment on this, Chairman Kennedy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson. Next item, please.
Next item is separate matters, resolution number 2023009, approving board recommendation for the executive director's performance evaluation.
Okay, I'll take the lead on this one. As the board knows, or those that were on the board at the time, we held a long overdue evaluation of our executive director, and the board in closed session had the discussions and met with Mr. Johnson afterwards and told him in general that we're extremely pleased with his work, and that we felt that his valuable contribution to our agency and the community was worthy of more than just the base raise that was expected. So if you'll see, there's a resolution number 2023009 in your packet, awarding a 6% raise to the executive director. And at this time, the chair would like to move approval with one caveat. I would like, Lindy, if you're scribbling, the final whereas says, whereas during the performance evaluation in closed session on December 15, 2022, the board found that Mr. Johnson has more than adequately fulfilled his responsibility as SAFECA's executive director. I have a feeling Mr. Johnson wrote that because it's far too modest. And I would like it to at least read, whereas during the performance evaluation in closed session on December 15th, 2022, the board found that Mr. Johnson has, and then strike out more than adequately. So read, Mr. Johnson has fulfilled his responsibilities as SAFECA's executive director in an exemplary manner, adding in an exemplary manner. Those would be the changes that I would recommend, and I would make that a motion prior to going to comment.
Second, please.
Thank you. Is there any comment from the board?
Question, Chair Kennedy, is that I agree wholeheartedly with the changes and the motion. And I appreciate you reading it aloud because I was just having trouble finding the text of the resolution in this phone book of a staff report that we received for this meeting.
Yeah.
Is it included in there somewhere on a page?
Yes. Well, I've got it. If you were to click on just that item, it's the first page under the resolution.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you very much.
Sure. Any other questions or comments?
Chair, this is Director Hume. I'm going to abstain from this item, just given the fact I've not had the pleasure of serving with Mr. Johnson. While I don't second guess the astuteness of this body, I can't support raise when I've not been a part of the evaluation.
Fair enough. Thank you. Make note of that.
So noted.
Any other comments? Okay. Is there any public comment on this item?
I've not received any public comment, Chairman Kennedy.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor with no comments from the public or board members. So at this time, I'd like to have a roll call vote on the resolution as amended at this meeting, and noting that Mr. Hume will be abstaining. Please call the roll.
May I have the second again? I didn't quite catch who did that.
Brian Holloway.
Holloway.
Thank you. And your amendment is noted, Chairman Kennedy. Roll call vote, Director Desmond.
Aye.
Director Frost.
Aye.
Director Hume abstains. Chairman Kennedy.
Aye.
Director Cerna.
Aye.
Director Jennings.
Yes.
Director Kaplan.
Yes.
Director Talamentes.
Yes.
Director Holloway.
Aye.
Director Shaw.
Aye.
Director Abdus.
Aye.
Director Baines.
Aye.
Director Conant.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes with 11-member approval.
Thank you. We are now at receive and file items 12 through 23. Are there any members of the board that have any questions, issues of on the receive and file items? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, is there any member of the public that you have heard from?
I have not received any.
Okay, then we will receive and file, and now we will go to closed session. Make sure we do this right, Lindy. What do you want us to do?
Okay, before we go, I just want to let the members of the public know that there are no items for discussion following the return of closed session. So if you don't want to hang around, we may have a report out, but there are no other items to discuss. Also, if you are a board member and you are listed in the participant list as a call-in user, specifically call-in user 3, 4, or 5, please identify yourself so that I can get you moved into closed session. I'm not hearing anything. Excuse me?
Oh, this is Director Talamontes on my cell phone.
Thank you. I'm just going to change that real quick so Al, you can get you moved in. Thank you. And be sure and look on your pop-up screen to accept the invitation to go into closed session. Thank you.
Thank you.